A car's 0 to 60 time is the sort of currency that reputations are built on. It takes your average family saloon about 10 seconds and your average supercar about 5.
But the Guinness World Record for a production car that's legal to drive on the road is an almost inconceivable 3.07 seconds. And that was set back in 1994 by a rally-bred Ford RS200. So it's about time someone tried to beat it.
The problem is, what with? You need four-wheel drive, low weight and plenty of power. You need a £40,000 Tiger Z100.
Yet another innovative testimony to Colin Chapman's original Lotus 7. And what makes this special is that it's got one Kawasaki 1200cc engine to power the front wheels and another to power the rear.
Now, the worst crash is a head-on crash. Picture this: you're driving along a country road, minding your own business,
When suddenly the car coming the opposite direction swerves.
straight into you, head-on.
It is a worst-case scenario, but it happens to someone, somewhere, every single day. But can you imagine what a car would actually go through in an accident like that?
The forces involved, the total, complete and utter destruction.
And what would be left if you drove into another car?
Head-on, both travelling at 60 miles an hour.
Yes, 60 miles an hour. Crash tests rarely offer a ringside seat to such high-speed carnage. Indeed, most happen at a more modest 30 to 40 miles an hour. But we're going to give you the chance to see what you normally don't.
It may not be very scientific, but I promise it will be spectacular.
So join us later in the show when Quentin and I will drive into each other at a closing speed of 120 miles an hour.
What's more, we will live to tell the tale, and it'll all be down to this very clever piece of red plastic pipe.
We're a nation in love with 4x4s. The market for off-roaders is ballooning and sales in Britain are up 20% this year.
We don't mind the lousy fuel consumption, the parking difficulties or the expense of running them because they are our own personal tanks.
We like the idea that the lofty driving position and acres of metal will protect us in an impact.
Research in America says that when a small car and a big 4x4 collide, you're 24 times more likely to die in the car than in the 4x4.
And for those with kids, the desire to get an advantage in the highway arms race is even stronger. The result is that they clutter every school run in the land. But there's always been a lingering doubt.
A little nag in the back of our minds that surely something so high is more likely to roll over. And then how safe will we be? Right, from Italy to France. To find out if a promise has finally turned into a reality. A couple of years ago, Renault got us all very excited. They pumped up a Clio, made it rear-wheel drive and crammed it full of V6. While most journalists were happy enough with the mid-engine concept and outrageous wide body, they belittled its 230 horsepower that could only drag it to 60 in 6.4 seconds. The Clio V6 had committed a cardinal sin. It looked faster than it was. So they brought us back to Renault Land to meet V6 Mark II. Visibly different thanks to its new Clio nose and these titanium-coloured air scoops. But what matters most is what they've changed back here, both inside the engine and underneath it. Back then to the question as to whether or not off-roaders are quite as safe as we think they are. We merrily trundle along in our 4x4s, towering above the traffic around us, quite happy in the belief that we're perfectly safe in our tough, mobile fortress. But riding so high, are we actually as safe as we think we are?